Hi there, welcome to drawing demo number 5. What happens when you put the structure in place and then don't stick to it? Well, for some reason, that's what I did here. Let's see how that worked out. Here we go with another head drawing then, and it's another female head, this time looking slightly up at us, so it's kind of angled down and away from us. It's going to give us a little bit of a challenge, and again with a female head, what you struggle to see is the actual skull shape because it's hidden in hair and the back of the jaw. So there's a few bits of reference that we don't get here. In some respects that simplifies our job, and in other respects it makes it difficult because we don't have those sort of landmarks to orientate ourselves like you do in a male head. So 10-minute drawing as normal, start the timer and off we go. I'm going to start this one actually a little bit further down, only because the previous drawing crept up. And because she's looking down, we see the back of her head, and that will also push the drawing up, so slightly off center. Let's put the chin here, angle of the jaw. This is going to be lost in hair, and I'm going to put the hair in at this point only because it's so prominent. It's such a prominent shape. I think that's going to help us get the sense of this individual. Just lighten those lines, don't get rid of them, just lighten them. It's coming in a little bit more. More of a point to the chin, but let's leave that loose for a little while. Okay, that's what I'm seeing her head shape as. And then the hair. It's going to be like that sort of feeling to it. Okay. Onto the features. Right, we've got quite prominent eyebrows, but I'm going to use this as a bit of a reference. So the nose is probably a little bit over halfway down, maybe a little bit further from that fringe. Top of the eyebrows are there, but if you look, the eyebrows are more like this, which I think is a Riley rhythm across the eyebrows. Riley is another person who abstracted a head construction. This is the glabella, sort of bit at the top of the nose. So the front, the sort of bridge of the nose, top of the nose is coming there. We don't see a line as such. I've just put it in there as a construction to help me find everything else. So let's just have a look at that. That feels too wide. So let's bring that in. Let's make her face a little bit more narrow. Now, although it's not an eye socket, I'm going to draw this line just at the top of the cheek just to give me that distance between where I see the eye and where I see the wings of the nose. So I've got a little bit too much of an angle going on here. I've lost the construction. I think when I push that eyebrow up. And mouth here. There's a big signal coming, well there's two signals that tell us the angle that we're looking at the face. So the nostrils, wings of the nostrils are kind of higher than the tip of the nose. That's one. The second one is her eyes are further up in the sockets than we would expect to see. And the second one is how the mouth looks. She has got absolutely beautiful eyes. Which I'm not sure I'm going to capture in 10 minutes. Or now. I'm going to capture in 5 minutes. And I made a right mess of this. Okay, that's looking better. So, what's wrong? The eyes are too far apart. What did I do wrong? Right. What I did wrong was I didn't put in my eye sockets. That's where I went wrong. So if you have the situation where you're doing a drawing and the eyes are just not looking right, it's because you jumped ahead in the process, like I just did, trying to rush. And as a result of rushing, got it wrong. This is the worst drawing I've ever done, and hopefully it's the worst drawing I'm ever going to post.
Two minutes.
Got to be joking. If I can turn this round in 2 minutes, I'll be absolutely A, amazed, and 2, B, delighted. Okay, where's the chin? Chin needs to come down a little bit more.
Last minute.
Nope. Much more subtle than that. I'm rushing now. Slow down. If I go over the time, I go over the time. And this is how you need to be. Give yourself a break. Allow yourself to learn. You're observing, you're comparing, you're learning.
30 seconds.
So I'm giving myself an extra minute or so just to try and get the sense of the back of the head. The neck is coming out there. Okay, let's see how we did, but I'm not expecting great things. Okay, let's put Artist Eye into overlay mode. There's our drawing. Let's reduce the size of our reference image and square it up a little bit. Get ready to freeze the camera. Let's put it back on the stand and let's try and line that up as best as I can and use that as feedback. Freeze the image. Let's zoom in. And okay, the hair is the worst culprit, if you like. It's the thing that's the most out of place, but basically everything needs a little bit of attention there, I think. And if we toggle the image between the two, then we'll see how it's jumping around. Now, considering how much of a mess I made of those eyes at the start, I got them pretty good in the end. I just got the shape wrong. They come up just a touch more. And the pupil is smaller. This bit I got right. That's okay. And the fold of the eyelid was pretty good. The other eye was better, I thought, in that the pupil was in pretty much the right place. I missed that out. The sort of fold of the eyelid there. The tear duct is a little bit lower. And that line is further out. Nose, not great. The nose comes further down here. 0.5 millimeter, that's all. But what a difference that 0.5 millimeter makes. The mouth, actually not too bad. Perhaps the angle's a little bit wrong. It's slightly better. That needs to have more of a sense of it being more level. Chin. The chin and the jawline I didn't get right. not far out, but I know I was panicking at that point. To come in a little bit more than I had it, and then the cheek definitely comes in more. And the base of her jaw, again, 0.5 millimeter up. The hair shape, pretty good. This shape is pretty loose anyway. There. But the biggest area, or biggest error, is the back of the head, which needs to go up. I can use the drawing above it as a reference, where those two cross is where the top of the head is coming to. So it needs to be more up there. Like that. And that now has got a greater sense of likeness to the reference compared to our drawing. That's why we do this, to compare ourselves, find out where our weaknesses are, and then when we know where our weaknesses are, we can work on that for the next time. So what did I do wrong in this? I didn't put the eye sockets in place before I put the eyes. I went straight to the eyes, got the eyes in the wrong place, and lost, 2 minutes, and made the paper messy. What do I know for next time? Don't do that again. Put the eye sockets in first, as I know to do, and yet still make these mistakes. That's why we practice. Hope you enjoyed it.